What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. Welcome into the Buccateers pod. Tampa Tones here alongside my right-hand man, A-Cat's in the building. We'll see if we get Stunna or Hunch or Bucko, but we're the Buccateers bright and early on a Saturday as we're joining you on this holiday weekend Saturday. Hope everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I'm now 2 pant sizes larger than I was entering into Thursday. Just kidding, hopefully not, but I am feeling it. I hope everybody's enjoying the football like I am. Without further ado, we'll bring in our brother in arms, Cats. Cats, how the hell are you? Hope your Thanksgiving was great. I seen you were at the Bolts game last night, so you're having a great weekend, it seems, my friend, as that was an awesome game to be at.
Yes, sir. It was an awesome game to be at. The Bolts got off to a very quick start. Paul was absolutely fantastic, as he always is. He's a very inspirational player. He's a great person. If you ever check out, quick plug for the Lightning, and I haven't watched it all yet. They did a great backstory on Nick Paul, talking about his beginnings and how hard he's worked to get to this point in his career. And he had a great game last night, as did the rest of the team. And so that was a big win for them. Good way to start a weekend. Hopefully the Bucs can finish off this weekend in Tampa Bay with a win as well.
Yeah, and I've seen something else cool about Nick Paul quick before we do get into the pregame for the Bucs. I've seen some fan actually won his first playoff goal with the Lightning last year, the puck of it. So Nick Paul actually set up a meet and greet with the fan and gifted him a game used stick and all that stuff. So that was really cool to see. I like what the Lightning are doing.
Yeah, he's a great guy. It was a great acquisition, and that's nothing, no disrespect against Matthew Joseph, who's done well in Ottawa as well and was a big member of the Lightning as well. But that was a great acquisition by Julien Brisebois. He fits the mold of the Lightning and wears that crest proudly, and we're glad to have him here.
Yeah, we love him here, and we can't wait to see what else he does for us in the future, and we're lucky that he's a part of the Tampa area for his play and for the person he is, and the Lightning continue to build a great fandom. Stunna, we're talking a little Lightning, but we know you're a Bucs guy. You amped for this Sunday, tomorrow's game, and what are your thoughts? How was your holiday?
Holiday was great, and my thoughts is I'm excited to see how we respond. Are we going to be the real Bucs? Or are we going to be this team that stays in 3rd and 7 the whole time and can't get first downs? So I'm excited to see what's going to happen, which Buccaneer team's going to emerge. Cleveland's got talent, but, they haven't played well this year. So we'll see. Also going into the dog pound is a great challenge. So I look forward to seeing how our team responds, and I really want to see them come out and play hard to get that W.
Yeah, and tomorrow, for those people unaware, is Mike joins us, our number one Canadian brother in arms. Mike, how you doing, Mike? Morning to you, my friend. I'll be at the game tomorrow. I'm leaving here shortly. We all got busy days, so we're not going to keep you here past 11:45 Eastern. Don't worry, fellas. We got to get Cats looking fresh. We got to get me, my fat ass, to Cleveland. Stunna's probably got, daughter, daddy duties to do, but 56 degrees and 100% chance of rain tomorrow. 18-mile-an-hour wind tomorrow. So I'll be in a storm. Cats, does the weather concern you at all for tomorrow's game? I mean, let's be honest. Besides the last 2 games aside, or really besides the last game and the last drive of the previous game aside, Suck-Up was pretty much our offensive MVP damn near to that point of the season. But tomorrow, 18-mile-an-hour winds, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to rely on him.
Well, I mean, you don't want to be relying on field goals anyway, no matter what the weather. Brady's certainly used to every kind of weather. I mean, Brady's won in just about everything. You name it, 100 degrees, minus 100 degrees. So the problem, though, I shouldn't say it's a problem. I think the key really is both teams, especially Cleveland, can run the ball. Cleveland runs the ball pretty well, but it looks like Vita Vea is, from what I gather, he's listed as questionable. He's probably going to play, it looks like. And that's really important, because when I first saw that he was not practicing against the Browns, to have a very good offensive line and a heck of a running game, that was concerning. with him in there, I think it's not as concerning for me because if you match that up as to which team can, we don't run it very well, but I don't think that, don't see it being too big a concern for me.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't think that, the weather, the thing with the weather is if there's bad weather, it affects both teams, right? It's not like in my opinion, it'll affect one more than the other. So in theory, I definitely agree with you because Tom Brady is more prepped in this type of situation or weather conditioning than definitely Jacoby Brissett or whatever the Browns are going to throw our way. And yeah, sure, they're running the ball first. So if it is rainy, it could cause for more fumbles out there. It could cause for the field to be cruddier. It could be more of a bend to the Browns' knee, perhaps, on the Bucs' knee at the end of the day. So we'll see how that shakes out. And I agree with you. No more relying on field goal, please. I mean, they're nice as tack on points or fill in the gap points, but when that's your main source of scoring, that's pretty bad. Before we bring in Stunna here, we got a couple comments. Weathermen are always wrong from Nick. Yeah, they are a lot of the time. So let's, they're one of the professions where you could get paid to be wrong and have nothing bad happen to you. It's kind of like being a manager of some baseball organizations out there. You could do all the wrong in the world, but they'll keep you around. So there's a weatherman knocking on our door. Mike says, happy post-turkey day to my Bucs friends. Hope everyone was safe and stuffed their face with bird. Yeah, thanks, Mike. We hope you were safe. Cats, you want to allude to your Thanksgiving?
I stuffed my face. That's all I have to say. I did exactly what Mike is referring to.
Same here. And
in fact, I did it on Tuesday too. We had an office potluck, so I did it twice. So yeah, double for me.
Yeah, we same here. Not office, but like a week back or so, we had like a Friendsgiving or something, and that was some good stuff. My buddy's girlfriend, she's of Spanish heritage, and those tamales were out of this world. Let's just put it that way. Those are pretty damn good. Stunna seems to be out of the building right now, so we'll bring him back when we can. Cats, I want to get to you on this though. Big key for the Bucs going into this one, or going into perhaps the latter part of the year, as Neil joins us. What it do, Neil? How the hell are you this morning? Happy Saturday, sir. Happy college rivalry week, sir. Happy Thanksgiving week, sir. Happy Bucs Browns pregame show, sir. Happy Lightning victory Saturday. Whatever you refer to. But Cats, I want to get your take on this. We got to get Rachaad White more involved. We did a good job of that. 12 days or 13 days ago, my apologies, in Munich, Germany. He was a little banged up that game, they said, and he still looked incredible. Lenny F is banged up this week as doubtful. What are your thoughts on the Bucs? Say if they're down to Rachaad White, Keyshawn Vaughn, and Giovanni Bernard, whose return is right around the corner if it's not tomorrow. What's your say on the state of the Bucs running back room?
Well, never like to see anyone injured, of course. But I do believe at this point in time that Rachaad White should be the number one running back. I think he's proven that, not just last week, but he's just looked like the more dangerous back. As far as going forward, we'll just start with this game. I think stopping the Browns' running attack, to me, is the key in this one. You want to make them one-dimensional, obviously. They've been I haven't watched a lot of the Browns, bits and pieces here and there. It looks like, they put up some competitive games. They certainly hung in there with Buffalo 2 weeks. No, it wasn't 2 weeks ago. That was last week for a while. They were, so if you can stop the run against them, make them one-dimensional, make Jacoby Brissett beat you, I think you'll be fine. They do have some talent on the outside. I don't know who's healthy or not. I think, is Amari Cooper still – who am I forgetting? Amari Cooper. I'm forgetting the rest of their names, but
Donovan Peoples-Jones is out there.
Yeah, Amari, and we've seen Amari Cooper many times before, and we've, I was about to say Jarvis Landry and realizing he's not there anymore. But nonetheless, still, no knock on their receivers because they got some talented ones. But you want to put the ball.
Is a big tight end. not to cut you off, but David Njoku, they gave a
Right,
lot of
that's
money
right.
to.
From the Canes, that's right. The Miami tight end from Miami, that's right. And that to me is the key in this game, is we haven't actually, believe it or not, our defense has played well for the most part for quite a while now. They've had their blips. These last 2 weeks have been terrific. More so Seattle, I thought, because Seattle's better offensively. They did a great job shutting Kenneth Walker down. They did a great job on that. So I think, for me, that's really the key to this game. We haven't actually intercepted a pass since week 4, which is hard to believe. Usually, then again, like I said, the defense has played well. They did create a turnover last week. Was that Devin White? I believe it was, knocked the ball out of Geno Smith's hands or covered it himself. Maybe he didn't knock it out. I don't recall. I think it was him. So they're due to get a pick or two, and I think Jacoby Brissett will give you chances at that. We faced him before. We faced him with Indy a few years ago. He's got that long wind up. So, tip balls, especially in the bad weather. But I'd like to see us create a couple turnovers. That would be nice. After, if you stop the run game, then you force them to be one-dimensional. That's when the turnovers and the tips and the overthrows come in.
And I think the craziest thing is, before we get to some comments and back to Stunna here, Cats, your entire statement was spot on. But the craziest thing you pointed out, no interceptions since week 4, and that's against quarterbacks like P.J. Walker, Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, to name the least. So we're facing a guy like Jacoby Brissett tomorrow. We're familiar with him as we faced him last season against Miami just 1 year ago. And the first half, he looked good against us. In the second half, we seemed to figure him out a little bit, slow him down a little bit, and take
when did
over
we face
that
him? Was it
game.
last year? I can't even remember now. That's right. He did play for Miami last year. I was totally forgetting that. I was thinking of him from Indy 3 years ago when we placed. See, he's been around so much.
Yeah, we actually did play him 3 years ago as well in Indy. So there you go. We're very familiar with him.
And I remember we always called him, when he played for the Gators, we always called him Jacoby Brisket. So no disrespect to him. He's made out a nice career for himself. Probably in the end, we'll have he's made a lot of money as a mostly backup quarterback. He started here and there. He's always been a good teammate. And he'll probably end up having twice the career with less the drama than a certain former Bucs quarterback that went to FSU. And I can't think of his name right. So
no. Name forgotten. We'll do a little quick rundown here.
The one that's hurt his soul when he's a backup.
Yes, sir. He's on his way. I mean, he is a backup right now to Dalton. So, Stunner, we'll start with you here. We're going to switch off between Cats and Stunner. We'll call this Buccateers Rapid Fire. We got a lot of comments building up, so we'll get their thoughts on each of these comments as we go here. Jeremy, our best, one of our best buds here, one of my best Bucs buddies on the internet, just got to get close with him this year. I've been following him on Instagram and Twitter. He's joining the show. Jeremy says, looking forward to seeing what White and Vaughn combo could do. Stunna, this is your comment. What are your thoughts on the Keyshawn Vaughn, Rashard White combo heading into tomorrow?
Well, we ain't got no choice. If the weather's what you say, we're going to have to run the ball, and you have to be effective with it. Fortunately for us, Cleveland's had a hard time this year stopping them run. But the weather definitely plays into their favor. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what those guys could do, but unfortunately, when the weather's bad, you need a power runner. And Lenny is our power runner, but he is definitely suffering through an injury. It looks like he won't be able to play. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to see what they can do. Hopefully they can maintain field position, and hopefully they can stay on the field and not get any 3-and-outs or any of that other silly stuff that we've been dealing with at the beginning of the year, and we can play buck ball, and then we can go back to our winning ways.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's always nice to have that power runner, so I'm guessing that Keyshawn Vaughn is going to try and assume that role. Not that he'll get like Lenny F yardage or production. I'm not saying that, but it is nice to have a guy like Keyshawn Vaughn with some experience on the bench who could fill in for some power running if needed. Cats, this one's for you. Contain the edges, Neil says. That's a good point, as Jacoby Brissett does got some heat under his feet. He could move pretty well. Not, his number one option is really never looking to take down the ball and run with it, although they could draw up read options and whatnot. He's more of a pass first guy, and then he could hurt you with his legs if he needs to. What's your thoughts on us with our edges trying to contain Jacoby tomorrow, as we've seen some quick quarterbacks within the past 3 or 4 years or so get the best of us from time to time.
I'm not too worried about containing the edges on him. It's more on their running back, Chubb. Nick, am I screwing up the name there? No, it is Nick Chubb, right? Is he still there?
Yep.
Yeah, Nick Chubb. I thought I was going crazy there. I'm thinking of the defensive end who was traded. No, Nick Chubb is dangerous. You don't want him turning the corner. So I would be more concerned about that. I'm not. If Jacoby Brissett's running the ball, that doesn't really bother me too much. That means that we probably doing a good job of in coverage, and there's a better chance, I think, of him tripping over his own feet than doing anything to us in the ground game. Big burly dude, but I don't think he's someone that you worry about as a threat running the ball. But I do worry about Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I'd worry never mind. I'm not going to make the joke I was about to make, but worry about those two guys. I do worry about both of those guys being able to turn the corner and accelerate upfield and turn in big plays on the ground.
And wait till this team, nothing against these Cleveland Browns, but they're compiling quite the characters over there with Kareem Hunt and Deshaun Watson when he gets back in the fold. So, and with a name like Nick Chubb, a lot of room for jokes. Anyways, turning the corner here. Stunna, this one's for you. Vaughn scares me, fumbler at times. Does Vaughn scare you as well, Stunna?
His size scares me because he's not a very, he's like a slasher, but he's not somebody that's going to break tackles or move the pile. He's very small, and I think that's when his fumbling comes in, when he takes those hits, when, he gives up body mass, and that's why the ball comes out. Not really scared. I think Vaughn's going to give us what he can give us. I think we need to get Giannotti Brevard some more touches, honestly, because he might have stronger pull-away skills. But when you get a muddy field and you lose traction, you have to have those strong legs and those power moves. We'll see.
We need to get a Stephen Chi button that says Giovanni Bernard in his voice whenever we say Giovanni Bernard, because that is just awesome. But I agree, Stunna. Giovanni Bernard, whenever he comes back and plays a role, I think that, if we get him involved in the pass game a little bit, if Lenny F does miss some time, his veteranship, his hands could be key. That's why we brought him here last year, but it does seem like long ago, doesn't it? But he's just been a Buck for 1.5 years now. But I met Gio at the Arians Family Foundation golf outing back in April. He's a really incredible, humble dude, and I hope he's able to return and be the man he can, because he's a really good guy. You guys are tuned in to the Buccateers here. We're live right now on Bucs Life News Facebook, Tampa Tones Facebook, Buccateers Twitter, Buccateers Podcast YouTube, and we're taking your questions on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or you could text in as well to my number, and we'll do that as well. So multiple routes you could go. Jeremy has one. This is Cat's turn now. Healthy Julio, Chris, and Mike will be interesting as well. We've seen it a little bit last week for the first time. Obviously, Julio wasn't 100. I keep saying last week. 2 weeks ago, we've seen it in Germany. Although Julio wasn't 100%, we did see his breakaway speed skills still. He still had some plays like the Julio of old. And now after 13, 14 days of rest, you hope that he could even turn it up one more notch right now. Look like not the Tennessee Julio, but the Atlanta Julio. And, man, that big three, that would be just as dangerous as it would be with AB in there damn near.
Well, Julio, in the few games he's been healthy this year, and there hasn't been many of them, but I think back to week 1 against Dallas and last week, at least relatively, you saw in the Dallas game, he had that big play down the field. The hands are still there. And you saw last week on that, I think it was a 3rd and 10, and we've not been good in 3rd and 7+, to say the least. I'm not going to even bring out the stat I heard. But on that particular play, he caught the ball. There was plenty of room, and you saw that acceleration was there, and he took it all the way to the house. So that was really encouraging, and you just got to hope that he's healthy, because if he's healthy, he can do that. He can still do it. It's really not a question of when he's healthy what he can do. It's still there. It's a matter of if he can stay healthy. And I would say on a wet, sloppy field, that would be a little concerning to me. As if he, you don't want him losing his footing, given that he's been, unfortunately, we'll call him injury prone because I hate to do it, but I'm just being honest about that. He has been prone to injuries. It's not his fault. It's just how it is. So a sloppy field, a wet field would worry me in regards to that. But if he's healthy, he's got to play. I guess he is relatively healthy. So it's very encouraging if he is, because we saw some of that run after catch ability that we were missing from our third wide receiver. We haven't gotten it. Really haven't. No. Russell Gage's not been available. When he has played, he's been underwhelming. We'll call a spade a spade. That doesn't mean he'll always be underwhelming, but right to this point, he has been underwhelming. And I don't think he's playing tomorrow anyway. But Julio brought that yak that we haven't seen enough from our receivers, especially our third receivers and fourth receivers, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it seems at times when our offense is battling those struggles this year, it's when we're kind of missing that third target out there on the field. And, they could really press Evans and Godwin with double teams and then kind of single team everybody else. And we really can't win our one-on-one battles out there then. But with a guy like Julio, as he gets healthy, and then hopefully if Gage could get healthy and then he's a fourth target, I believe he could win his fourth matchup a lot better than he could his third or second perhaps right now. So I think he'd be more effective then. So that's how key Julio is, his health moving forward, not only just for him in the Bucs, but for a guy like Russell Gage and the rest of the receiving cores. If you're taking Scotty Miller or Brashad Perriman as a fifth or sixth target, man, you just put him on a fly route, hope for the best. Then you got guys like Evans and Godwin running underneath and hope they win their matchups, and something should pop eventually. So Julio is key. Good stuff there, Cats. Good comment there, Jeremy. Stunna, Cooper versus Dean. Is this the matchup to watch tomorrow?
Repeat it. Who versus who?
Amari Cooper versus Jamel Dean. Is this the matchup to watch tomorrow for the Bucs and Browns when Bucs are on defense and Browns are on offense?
Yeah, I think Cooper's the only playmaker they got as far as receivers. It's definitely going to be the thing to watch. If Dean is our lockdown, then we need to re-sign Dean. Okay, and that needs to be our offseason priority, just like the season before. Offseason priority was re-signing Carlton Davis. So yeah, man, it's definitely going to be something where our defense has to stand up. But our defense pretty much stood up all year. They had a couple bad games, but in those bad games, our offense is kind of laid an egg on us. In all honesty, our offense got to score points. I don't think we put up 30 all year, and this is the game to do it. So yeah, that's going to be a matchup to watch, but a bigger matchup is going to be to watch is our offense versus scoreboard.
Yep, and we'll see what happens there. Cats, what's your thoughts on Cooper versus Dean? Quick.
Yeah, well, Dean, just to piggyback on that, Dean has been terrific this season. Maybe quietly, perhaps on a national scale, he might not be getting the recognition. Although I've noticed some of the analytics, Pro Football Focus, all that. I don't follow very closely. Seems to have picked up on how good he's been, and that is a big matchup in this game, like Stunner alluded to. Because after that, it gets a little bit thinner. Obviously, Peoples-Jones, Njoku, like we mentioned, obviously their run game being the most important. But if Dean continues to play the way he's playing, yes, he needs to be back next year, and it's certainly an important factor in this game. As for the offense, yeah, it has not been anything like the prior two seasons. We saw a little bit of it last week, 2 weeks ago, rather. Despite only the 21 points, I say only 21. They could have put up more at the end, but they ran the clock out. So I thought they were very efficient. Again, what bugs me, I think it bugs a lot of people. Obviously, you want to be good on third down, but you don't want to be living in third down situations the entire game. Their efficiency was good, but too often you're seeing them in third down. I know against the Rams, I remember looking at it. I saw the Bucs were 9 out of 21 on third down. You don't want to face third down 21 times in a given game. It's just not ideal, even if you're converting almost half of them. So again, that comes back to, what everyone talks about. And I agree with that on how predictable or non-predictable you are in the early downs, but use of play action. But again, we saw that they could run the ball last week against a Seattle team that has been okay defensively, and Cleveland has not been good defensively in terms of stopping the run. So that's important. So hopefully they can take advantage of that, because that they want to run the ball. They've made that clear no matter how much we don't like it. That's what they're going to try to do. There's no mystery to it. So hopefully they can. And I'm glad to see Nick Leverett will continue in there because he's done a great job so far. So hopefully they can run the football against Cleveland and avoid those 3rd and long situations that have really plagued them this year, unlike prior years where they actually were pretty damn good in those.
Yeah, and our offensive line looks so much better with Nick Leverett in there than it does with Luke Godecki. So that's incredible. Real quick, I'm going to bring in my man's comment. McGee, he's from the Braves Country HD show. We just started it. It's McGee's baby. It's Monday through Fridays from 3 to 5 Eastern in the Atlanta area on WQEE 99.1, I believe. And I'm on there every Monday and Friday now from 3 to 5 Eastern time. So we do sports talk over there. It's McGee and the rest of us. We're known as the Armchair Quarterbacks, but the show itself is Braves Country HD on WQEE in the Atlanta area on 99.1, or you could watch it on YouTube as well at Braves Country Baseball. Again, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 Eastern is the show. I'll be on there on Monday and Fridays from the last hour there. So 4 to 5 Eastern, that would be. So I'm incredibly honored to be on there with McGee and the rest of the guys as we talk sports. We had a great kickoff show yesterday on Black Friday. It was a really fun time. And I know he's happy as his Knowles won. So that was an incredible one for him as it was rivalry week last night for the Knowles and Gators. That was a really fun game.
They kind of wounded that Gator is what they did.
Yeah, they wounded a Gator. Richardson looked decent at times, and then Kitna came in as well. And McGee, you could see McGee Tones on 4 to 5 Eastern Monday and Fridays. Anthony does a great job, y'all. I appreciate that, McGee. Really means a lot, brothers. So great words from the great one there, Mr. McGee himself, as he is one of the best in the biz, and he does a great job. And that's why the Braves Country HD show wiggled its way on to WQEE 99.1 radio weekdays, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 Eastern time. So that's always good. And we'll move on here. McGee scalped them. Yes, Florida State did. They did a tremendous job at winning yesterday after that rivalry's been back and forth, but Florida's got the last couple. So that was a huge win for the Knowles yesterday in that rivalry. But again, one last time, I will be on 4 to 5 Eastern Monday and Fridays. Thanks again, McGee, for the plug. I'm trying to talk non-gibberish back here, but transitioning back and forth, it gets a little tough. Katz, we'll start with you on this one, and then we got our next one for Stunna. Katz, just curious, when was the last time Bucs faked the punt to gain a first down?
Oh gosh.
Was it Tom Tupa days?
No, I don't think it's that far. I believe I usually remember these things. I'm pretty sure it was when Shiano was here because he was big into those trick plays. I think when he was here, they faked a punt. I don't remember who the punter was. Michael Kanan, I want to say, probably was the last time they did that. I can't remember any time recently that they've done that. That's off the top of my head. I'm not even sure about that, but I'm pretty sure that was the last time, if any, that we've done that. It's been a while.
Stunna, do you have any idea? I'm unsure myself. I think it's been a minute, but I'm trying to remember myself to be quite honest.
A fake punt?
Yeah, faked the punt.
The only one that was ever significant in Bucs lore was against the Arizona Cardinals in 2002 during our Super Bowl run. Helped us win that game. But honestly, I think we need to do less razzle-dazzle, especially when we did that stupid double reverse against Green Bay, cost us that game. And then the stupid pass to Brady that almost cost us that game. So in my opinion, we need to do less trick plays and more traditional drop back, throw the ball down the field, and let our athletes score points.
And that trick play
That was a needless play. That was a needless play that they did. That was absolutely ridiculous. I'm with you. That really capped me. Sorry.
That's something that you do when you're down or up like 21 or 28 points in a game, and you're either just trying to have fun, open the playbook, and see if it's a possibility where it could work down the road if you're up 28.
You can't play in desperation. When you get desperate, you make mistakes.
Correct. That's something where you got to have trial and error, either down a lot, up a lot, that type of stuff. When you're in that type of game, I think it was a 10 or 14 point game at that time. And then you give Seattle momentum back by creating a free turnover. And by the way, you're throwing against one of the best rookie corners, if not the best rookie corner in the league, and Tariq Woolen. Actually, I'm sorry, Sauce Gardner is the best rookie corner in the league, but a very good one in Tariq Woolen. That's just unacceptable. And Lenny F., running backs don't get to pass often. A lot of people were hating on Lenny F for throwing that ball, but when you're a running back and the play is for you to throw the ball, you're not thinking straight. You're just going to fire that puppy down and hope for the best. So very bad play call.
Right. Missing the ball so well, and you were about to pretty much put the game away at that point. I mean, it would have become a 3-score game, and that would have been it. Ended up winning anyway, but that game would not have even gotten close. There's a time and place to run that, like you said, and that was not it. Just if you're stick with what's working. When you're doing whatever you want offensively, which has not happened enough this year, and you're actually doing it, throw that away. Throw that out of the playbook. Put it in your back pocket for another time. Don't do that. And the one against Green Bay was ridiculous too, down by 2 points in the fourth quarter after they'd hit a big play. That was even more ridiculous. So timing is everything with those plays. And the 2 times the Bucs have tried that trickery this year, it's been at the really bad times, and the execution has been even worse. So just get it out of there. Forget it. Don't bother.
Get it the hell out. And
our screen game has been terrible also this season.
Yeah.
I can't remember any significant screens we had. I mean, we've had a couple here and there, but that's expected. I can't remember one screen that's been overwhelming where it's like, oh man, that changed a game or anything like that. But we'll get this next one here for Cats. Jeremy says, appreciate the love, fellas. Of course, Jeremy, we appreciate you. Joe from Cleveland Mead tuning in says, BUCCANEERS. Go Bucs. We love that. That's a great chant, one of the classics there. So, Jeremy, this one is for you, Stunna, and then we're going to bring one to Cats, and then we already got to pick up and get with score predictions and whatnot, as McGee gave a score prediction, and we have about 7 to 8 minutes left here. So we're motoring through. Jeremy says, try to get a lead too and not play catch up. And then he says, what's up with Jensen? My firm belief on Jensen is this. Their mum's a word on him right now because they don't want to. He probably tells the team, hey, I want to try and come back this year. Don't put me down and out for the year. Don't make it sound like that. Although it's highly unlikely that he comes back in the regular season, there's a chance for the playoffs. And to me, Jensen is doing everything in his power to not only come back for the playoffs, but to try and scrap a game in week 18 where he could get a quarter worth of playing time or a half worth of playing time. So the easy thing would be to put him on the IR and make a comment on him. But Jensen's a guy where he doesn't want, the narrative to be pushed the wrong way on his injury, in my opinion. With that, we'll get Stunna's thoughts, and then we'll get Cat's thoughts as then we do our score predictions, one big thing, and bounce out of here. Stunna, thoughts on Jensen?
ACL is a 20-week injury. I hope to see him, but I also don't want to see him rush back and then lose another season.
Cats, what say you?
Yeah, I'm with Stunner on that. I haven't thought about Ryan Jensen because I've always been of the mind that if a player is injured and you start thinking about them, it's going to drive you crazy. If he really, really, really at any point feels healthy, then sure, come back. Otherwise, if it's not near 100%, I wouldn't bother with this year.
I agree with that. If he's not 100%, I mean, our offensive line keeps getting a little better, right? Especially with Cats alluding earlier, Nick Leverett, O-line's looked a lot better. And to me, Robert Hainsey has been pretty damn good. I know a lot of people has been saying he's not been that great, but I find that hard to believe. He's not going to be Ryan Jensen good, but for his first damn year starting at a position that he's not even accustomed to, I think he's done a decent little job there. To me, Bob Hainsey deserves more credit than he's getting. And Brady, it seems like you see him on the sideline whenever Brady needs someone to talk to him. It seems like Bob Hainsey's the one he's looking for. He's always yelling, Bob. So interesting there to see the companionship between Brady and Bob Hainsey. But yeah, I wouldn't rush Jensen back this year either. Mike has a question about a patch. He bought a new Mike Evans Pro jersey. Wants to know where to get the captain's patch for it. Mike, you could go on Facebook, Go to Bucs Treasure Cove, search in the description bar Captain Patches, and there's a chance that some people will be selling him on there. Once again, go to Buccaneers Treasure Cove on Facebook, search Captain Patches. There's a chance you could find him there. Or I run a group on Facebook with my friend Jason Getru. It is called Tampa Bay Buccaneers Game Worn and Issued Sports Memorabilia. You could actually get an authentic on the field game issued one from there. People sell them. That one will be a little more expensive because it's meant for on the field wear. But one of those two Facebook groups, you should be able to hopefully find that captain patch that you can add on to your beautiful new Mike Evans Pro jersey. Score prediction time, fellas. McGee, Bucs win and put up big numbers. Tampa 31, Cleveland 20. Man, I would love that. I'd especially love that because we do a lock of the week on the armchair quarterback. Well, Braves Country HD show with the armchair quarterbacks. We do a thing called lock of the week. And I picked the Bucs. No bias there, right? But no, I picked the Bucs. So let's hope that sticks there. Cats, what say you on the score prediction? Then we'll get to Mike and Stunna's score prediction and myself.
I do think the Bucs will win. I don't think it's going to be easy, though. I'm going to say 24-20. Bucs win it.
So we got 24-20 from Cats, 31-20. You guys both got Cleveland scoring 20, a touchdown different apiece on the Bucs offensive side. Stunna, what say you on a score prediction?
I got 20-17 Tampa.
You got 20-17?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So that puts us at 3-0 on the Bucs. Mike, 28-10. Mike's got us going in there, ripping their he's got us playing like Dan Campbell back there, biting kneecaps, smacking people around, ripping heads off. I love that, Mike. Love the optimism there. And then Jeremy got 24-13 Bucs. I write all these down, even your guys, Jeremy, Mike, McGee, and then at the end of the year, I see who ever commented or on the Buccateers got the most right or whatever, or closest to right. So Jeremy's going with that, Cat's that, McGee that, Stunted that. Oh man, I'm going with let's go with a little bit of 27-17 Bucs win action. I think we get incredible days from Rachaad White on the ground, and I think defensively we get an incredible day from none other again than Mr. Devin White himself. I think Devin White comes to play tomorrow. I think he knows that Cleveland's going to be ground heavy. I think he knows that they're going to be looking to attack him up the middle. And Devin, after facing a little bit of scrutiny off the field with some comments and his tragic father's passing way too young at the age of 45, rest in peace. That's terrible. No one should ever have to deal with that young.
Devin Young is the heart and soul of our football team. He is a hero.
He's played. I hope he plays incredible tomorrow, and that's my player of the game. Stunna, what are your two player of the games, offense and defense, quick before we get to Cats, and then our one big things, and we're out.
Offensive player of the game, Cole Keith as a blocking back. Defensive player of the game, Will Golston.
I like both of those a lot. I was watching the In the Current yesterday, and Will Golston's awesome, man. He was trick-or-treating out there, and people were like, oh, Will Golston. He was just loving the people, talking with the people, loving life out there. So Will Golston has been one of my unsung heroes for this team for a long time, and it's great to see Bucs fans continue to show him love. I love that pick, Stunna. Cats, what say you, offense and defensive player of the game for our Buccaneers?
Offensively, I think he started to look like he's getting back in the flow, and also having played at Penn State, I think he's used to this weather potentially. So I think he's going to be our offense and defense. Going to go with Vita Bea against that big offensive line of theirs, and they want to run the ball. I think Vita Bea is going to be able to neutralize that, and he's going to have a big game.
Godwin and
wild card is Carl Nassib because he hates Cleveland.
Yeah, Nassib ain't a bad one after what Cleveland did to him. And as Katz alluded to with Godwin playing at Penn State, Nassib played at Penn State as well. So Nassib, a guy very familiar with that. And I love Anthony Nelson and Carl Nassib. We'd be toast without these guys with Shaq Barrett going down. I feel very confident with Nelson and Nassib out there to continue our pass rush. And honestly, our backups to them even have done good. Jernard Avery has done decent to this point as well. So We've been getting decent production. Jeremy says Hicks defensive player, Mike Evans offensive player. Our defense is a lot better with Hicks out there. That's for sure this year. So good picks there. Mike says Jamel Dean and Chris Godwin. Good picks there. All right, fellas. Cat's got to get a haircut. I got to get on the road. Stunna's got to do daddy duties. Let's get our big things and walk-offs and enjoy our Saturday, shall we, fellas? Cats, one big thing, one walk-off to watch for in tomorrow's Bucs-Browns game.
Yeah, stop the run and don't turn the ball and protect the football.
Yeah, it's simple as that. I love it, short and sweet, but to the point. That's incredible, brother. Stunna, what say you? What's your one big thing and walk-off for tomorrow?
One big thing is we're undefeated since Tom Brady got divorced. Let's keep that run. Let's keep that going. Walk-off is going to be watch offensive time of possession. See how long we can stay on the field. That's going to be our key to success and our key to the season moving forward if we're going to be a Super Bowl contending team.
I think you guys made it great, so I'm going to use my walk-off on the Buccateers watchers' comments. Jeremy mentioned Hicks. Mike mentioned Nelson. And then Stunna mentioned Nassib. I'm going to say the importance of Hicks, Nelson, and Nassib tomorrow is very key to stop Nick Chubb, to stop Kareem Hunt, to stop Jacoby Brissett. We're going to need all those guys to step up, play big games. We're undefeated with the return of Hicks. And like Stunna alluded to, we're undefeated since the divorce of Brady as well. But a lot of stats and analytics, I guess you can even pull from the human perspective or from the fan perspective with things like that. Any last words, fellas, before we get out of here?
That's all I got, guys. Go Bucs. Have fun, Tones.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, represent up there, man. Get a son, Buccateers Nation or something. Be careful in the dog pound. I hear they like to throw batteries at our fans and stuff, but it's been years since they've been that unruly. So
Yeah.
Good luck out there, man. Have fun, represent the Bucs, have a good time, and go Bucs.
Yeah, fellas, I will be in the middle of the dog pound. Pay attention to me on Twitter at Tampa Tones or Buccateers Twitter and Instagram at Buccateers. I'll be uploading stuff in there from the dog pound. As Cat, Stunna, Mike all wish me well. I appreciate that, guys. Really looking forward to this one. It's going to be a really fun game with the family. We're set here to leave for Cleveland here shortly. We'll be staying in downtown Cleveland the next couple of days. That's going to be incredible. Jeremy says go Bucs. Can't wait to get there, fellas. I cannot wait to be supporting Buck Nation. I know Buck Nasty's going to be there as well. I appreciate all the safe travel wishes and all that stuff, fellas. It's going to be fun. I went to Bucs Colts preseason this year. I was supposed to go to Bucs Falcons, but things happened. So this is my first regular season game of 3 on the season. Amped for it, here for it, ready to support the boys, ready to protect myself from battery throwers if they're out there. So fire the damn cannons, go Bucs. I'll represent till the day I die.
Get them playoff tickets.
Yep, saving for them playoff tickets. Me and Stunna will be there. You guys know that. So much love to everyone who watched and tuned in today. Jeremy, Neil, Mike, Joe from Cleveland, me, and everyone in between. Probably forgetting some. Nick commented as well. McGee, obviously. So incredible stuff, guys. Love you all. Stay safe and have a great weekend. On behalf of the Buccateers, happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday, happy Lightning Victory Saturday, and all that. Go Bucs.
Go Bucs.
Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. Energy, electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by Lead Goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No,